Newsmakers Extra, Congressman Al Green joining me. Congressman, we talked about a number of things on the program here. Let's talk about immigration issues, because that seems to be something that affects the Houston area at large by all of the immigration traffic we have coming in here. 1.7 million have come across the U.S.-Mexico border, most ever. What kind of challenges are there to that, and what kind of solution do you suggest to get it taken care of?
Well, there are great challenges, to say the very least. But this is not something that's only of concern to us in the United States. We in what we call the Middle East, and we are paying literally by way of foreign aid into some countries to accept persons from other countries. So it's something that's happening because of geopolitical circumstances that go beyond the boundaries of the United States. I think that one of the things that we have to do, and I want to be specific on this one thing, is deal with the situation with the Haitians. We have currently a temporary protected status for Haitians who were in the country prior to a certain date. That means that we don't want to send them back because of the harm that they might encounter. Well, when persons come across the border, they don't get the benefit of that. We can't send people back to Haiti. We've seen what's happened to 17 people who were there on missions of mercy. We cannot send them back with a phone and $50, maybe $100 in their pockets. That's unacceptable in Haiti. Haiti has been a friend to this country. We've been a friend to Haiti. They are our neighbors, and we should treat them as such. So we have to do something about that situation. And generally speaking, at the border, we've got to do something to help persons who are fleeing harm's way. They're coming from places where you and I would not stay. We would leave. We have to do what we can to be of assistance. I don't say bring in the world. I'm not a person who believes in no borders, but I do believe that for humanitarian purposes, we have to do what we ask other people to do, and what we literally give them aid to do in other countries.
Well, you know, Republicans and those on the other side of the aisle say exactly that you are of the mindset that you have open borders. That's what they say Democrats do. And so with that kind of philosophy, so you can't send Haitians back, what does that mean other than open borders?
Well, it means that we are going to keep our promise that we've made when we passed laws. We are a country that does allow persons to come and to seek the opportunity to stay in this country, and there's a process. And if you show up at our border, for persons who may not know, and you say that you're being persecuted in your country, and you can give some evidence of it, then we will allow you to at least present that evidence of being persecuted. It's something that our law permits. So I'm following the law. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to the Haitians, again, there's temporary protected status in place saying we will not send them back who were here before a certain date. They've had a president assassinated. They've had an earthquake. And we know now of persons who've been kidnapped. We know about the gangs and the murders. We don't want to send people to their death. That is not the kind of country we are, and I would hope that persons would understand this.
Final thought from you, Congressman. I never see you when you're not optimistic about something about life, something about your job. As challenging as it may be, what can you leave me with today that gives me optimism about where we are as a country, even with the divisiveness that we have right now?
Well, there is a chasm. But we've been able to span these chasms in the past. These are not the most difficult times that we've seen in this country. These are difficult for a good many people. But just as we've been able to deal with issues such as slavery, we've been able to deal with issues related to women's suffrage. We have now started to move forward as it relates to the rights of persons who are part of the LGBTQ+ community. I think that while we may have some bumps in the road, we have not hit a wall, and we will move beyond much of what we are seeing as separations that we tend to believe are dividing permanently, but it's a temporary condition. This country can move forward and get great things done. All
right, you gave me my words for the day. Bumps, not walls. That's my catchphrase. Congressman Green, thank you for what you do. Safe travels, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Thank you. And remember, this is a Breast Cancer Month awareness, so be aware and take the precautions necessary to check yourself.
Absolutely, and give donations to those organizations that work hard on the front lines. Thank you, Congressman Green. Thank you. Newsmakers Extra, share it with everybody you know.